Hello class ninth. I am Ashok, your English teacher, present here with part 2 video of the chapter packing. In the previous video we had read about the packing skills of the author and his opinion about others as packer. He took the charge to pack the essential things in the bag as they were going on a river trip, and he completed this task at 10:05 p.m. and then George and Harry started packing the hampers by breaking a cup and packing in haphazard manner. Now let's read para number 9 to know what happened next. And then it was George's turn and he trod on the water. He didn't say anything, but I came over and sat on the edge of the table and watched them. It irritated them more than anything I could have said. I felt that it made them nervous and excited, and they stepped on things and put things behind them, and then couldn't find them when they wanted them, and they packed the pies at the bottom and put heavy things on top and smashed pies in. So in this part of the text, one word may be there which is difficult for you, and that is trod means stepped on. So next, George stepped on the water. Jommy remained silent but sat on the edge of the table to watch the action. His silence irritated his friends. They became nervous and stepped on to the things. They kept the things behind them, and later, when they wanted them, they could not find them. They placed the pies on the bottom and kept heavier things on them, which smashed the pies. Now, see para number 10. They upset over everything, and as for the water, I never saw two men do more with 1 and 2 pence worth of butter in my whole life than they did. After George had got it off his slipper, they tried to put it in the kettle. It wouldn't go in, and what was in wouldn't come out. They did scrape it out at last and put it down on a chair, and Harris sat on it, and it stuck to him, and they went looking for it all over the room. So two words are there which may be difficult for you here. Upset. Upset means overturned. Scrape means drag or pull. So in this part of the text we read that the boys overturned the can of salt on everything. Jaume says that they created a lot of confusion with the small piece of butter. He had not seen anyone create so much mess with butter that was worth 1 and 2 pence, meaning it was a very small piece, as they did. George removed it from his slipper then and tried to put it into the kettle. As he was unable to do that, he placed it on a chair. Harry sat on it. The water stuck to him. He stood up, and both the boys went around the room looking for the piece of water. I will take my oath I put it down on that chair, said George, staring at the empty seat. I saw you do it myself not a minute ago, said Harris. So George looked intently at the empty seat on which he had placed the water a few minutes ago. He took an oath of truthfulness that he had placed it there not even a minute ago. Then they started round the room again looking for it, and then they met again in the center and started at one another. So once again they searched it in the room. They met in the middle of the room empty handed. Most extraordinary thing I ever heard of, said George. So mysterious, said Harris. Then George got round at at the back of Harris and saw it. Why, here it is all the time, he exclaimed indigently. Indigently means in a manner indicating anger or annoyance at something perceived as unfair. So George said that the disappearance of the water was the most amazing thing that he had known. Harris said that the disappearance of the water was a mystery for him. George saw the water sticking to Harris' back and said that it had been there all this while. "Where?" cried Harris, spinning round. "Stand still, can't you?" roared George, flying after him, and they got it off and packed it in the teapot. So, in this part of the text, we read that Harris turned around and asked where it was. George flew to Harris' back and asked him to stand still. They removed the water and packed it inside the teapot. Now, see what is there in the next part. Montmorency was in it all. Of course, Montmorency's ambition in life is to get in the way and sworn at. If he can squirm in anywhere where he particularly is not wanted and be a perfect nuisance and make people mad and have things thrown at his head, then he feels his day has not been wasted. So, in this part of the text, we read that um, three words are there which might be difficult for you. Sworn at. Sworn means get scolded. Squirm means to wriggle or twist one's body. Nuisance means to cause inconvenience or annoyance. So Jaume's pet dog Montmorency participated in all this. His aim was to interrupt everyone and then get scolded for it. Jaume added that if Montmorency was able to twist into a place and create nuisance by angering people and get things thrown at him in return, he felt that his day he had utilized the day in a good way. Now, see the next part. To get somebody to stumble over him and curse him steadily for an hour is his highest aim and object. And when he has succeeded in accomplishing this, his conceit becomes quite unbearable. So, uh, three words are there which may be difficult for you. Stumble. Stumble means to trip over a hurdle. Curse means scold. Conceit here means his pride in himself. Now see what was there in this part of the text. So Montmorency's aim was to get people trip over him and scold him. By doing this, he felt that he had fulfilled his aim and would feel proud of his achievements. Now see para number 13. He came and sat down on things just when they were wanted to be packed, and he labored under the fixed belief that whenever Harris or George reached out their hand for anything, it was his cold, damp nose that they wanted. He put his leg into the jam and worried the teaspoons, and he pretended that the lemons were rats and got into the hamper and killed three of them before Harris could land him with the frying pan. So, in this part of the text, there are three words which may be difficult for you. Worried. Worried means disturbed. Pretended. Pretended means to behave as if something is true when you know that is not. Land him means hit or punch someone. So, in this part of the text, we read that Montmorency sat on the things to be packed. He thought that when George and Harris reached out for things to be packed, they were reaching out for his cold, wet nose and would bring it forward for them. He stepped into the jam bottle. He shook the teaspoons. He acted as if the lemons were rats and stepped into the hamper to kill these rats. He was stopped by Harris, who hit him with a frying pan. Harris said, I encouraged him. I didn't encourage him. A dog like that doesn't want any encouragement. It's the natural, original sin that it born in him that makes him do things like that. So Harris blamed Jommy for encouraging Montmorency for doing all his mischief. Jommy said that a dog like Montmorency did not need any encouragement. It was born to be like that and act like that. The packing was done at 12:50 and Harris sat on the big hamper and said he hoped nothing would be found broken. George said that if anything was broken, it was broken, which reflection seemed to comfort him. He also said he was ready for bed. We were all ready for bed. Harris was to sleep with us that night, and we went upstairs. So, in this part of the text, there is one word which may be difficult for you, reflection. Reflection means thought. At 12:50, they had packed the hampers. Harris sat on it and said that hopefully nothing would break in it. George was indifferent and said that if something broke, it would not matter. As they were ready for bed, they went upstairs to sleep, and at that they have to sleep together. Harris had to sleep with them also. Now see para number 15. We tossed for beds and Harris had to sleep with me. He said, do you prefer the inside or the outside, Jim? I said I generally prefer to sleep inside a bed. Harris said it was odd. George said, what time shall I wake you, fellows? Harris said 7. I said, no, 6 because I wanted to write some letters. Now, one word is there in this part of the text which may be difficult for you. Tossed. Tossed means throw something somewhere lightly or casually. So, as they settled in their beds, Harris asked Jommy if he preferred the inside or the outside of the bed. Jommy said that he preferred to sleep on the inside of the bed. This seemed strange to Harris. George asked them that he should wake them uh, up at what time. Harris replied 7 while Jommy wanted to wake up at 6 as he had to write some letters. Harris and I Harris and I had a bit of row over it, what at last spelled the difference and said 6:30. Wake up at 6:30, George, we said. A bit of a row means an argument. Split the difference means that they agreed on 6:30 because it was halfway between 6 and 7. Harris and Jommy had discussion on the time and finally they settled on 6:30, each accommodating his time by half an hour. George made no answer. And we found on going over that he had been asleep for some time, so we placed the bath where he could tumble into it on getting out in the morning and went to bed ourselves. Tumble means to fall quickly and without control. So George did not respond as he was asleep. Harris and George made mischief by placing the bathtub next to George's bed so that he would fall into out as he woke up on the pretext that this way he would take a bath as soon as he got up. So this was all about this chapter. As a homework, you will write the summary, and you will also complete the textual exercise given there in the book. Thank you. Have a nice day.